Welcome, everyone. I am John Ryan of John Ryan Sports. It's been a while since I have done videos, and I'm pleased to say I'm going to start doing these on a daily basis or almost every day, as often as possible, because I think it does bring some very good analytical information, highly profitable betting systems that you can keep and bet forever, and also to get reacquainted with my subscription and highly successful season going on in college football and the NFL. But as you can see right now, there's a special today NBA Western Conference game of the month. These plays have hit 73% in the NBA and college basketball over many years. So be sure to check out at the end how you can get a hold of this play for just $39, and it's guaranteed that if you don't win it, you get the next one free. And hitting 68%, 73%, 68 was football, 73 is the hoops. We don't lose these too often, but they do lose 27% of the time. So always bet with your head, never over it, right? So anyway, let's get right to the meat and potatoes of this show. And we're going to talk about a betting system that has done extraordinarily well. And right here it is. It's 45-17 to the under, 73% winning record over the last 10 years. And this involves the 76ers and the Cavaliers tonight in NBA action. And the under is the play here. Current price tag is 235.5. And what we're going to do is we're going to bet under when a team has won one of their last two games. That's misprinted there. Sorry for that. They are on the third and last game of a road trip. In other words, last game of a 3-game road trip. They've won 60% or more of their games. And the opponent is playing their third straight home game. So this sets up very, very well for an under. And I do like the idea of teams on the last game on a road, teams on the last game of a home, returning home, going on the road. This type of pivot has always been profitable in many, many years. In fact, this system has not had a losing season in any of the seasons since 2015. So this is a very powerful under bet tonight in the 76ers game. And live betting strategy is something that I have really been into in the NBA, as in all sports. But the NBA is the most high-scoring sport we have. Therefore, the scoring volatility is going to be very, very high. There's going to be periods of time where these teams are scoring close to 8 points a minute, with the way they're reining in threes, especially this year again, and as slow as 3.5 points per minute. So you have to allow that to work in your favor. In this case, since we're betting the under at 235.5, consider the following bet. If you're going to bet 7 units on this play, and let's say it's $50 a unit, that's $350 on this bet, which is pretty sizable, but this is an example. You would take 5 units or $250 and put it on the under pre-flop. In other words, before the game starts. Then once the game begins, look to get the remaining 2 units at 242.5. Now, this is all done with high-level math and volatility quotients that I used on Wall Street when I was trading the markets, as I continue to do now. So a lot of knowledge from my Wall Street career as a chief currency strategist comes into play with the sports betting. And believe me, there really isn't too much difference between trading and the sports betting markets, because Vegas is never trying to trick you. They're never trying to, I hear it every week in the NFL, oh, this line looks like they're trying to get you to take this team. They're not. Just like the market makers for Apple or Nvidia or any of the stocks, even the small ones, all the market maker wants is even action on both sides of the equation, equal buyers and sellers. The same thing applies in the Vegas sports markets, where let's say the Eagles are a 2.5-point underdog to Green Bay this Monday night, which will be an exciting game to say the least. But all they're trying to do is set a price that predicts what we as bettors are going to do. They get 10% of the action no matter who wins and who covers. It doesn't matter to them. What matters is putting out a line that remains static and it doesn't change. If it's a dynamic line, then their exposure to risk and losses increases, sometimes rather dramatically. So that is the goal of the lines maker. It's not a prediction on the game. It's a prediction more of our human behavior, of how we're going to react to games we've seen and how that price is going to adjust. One example, Penn State versus Indiana. Preseason at the Circa, Penn State was a 16.5-point favorite before the season started. They were ranked number 2, expected to contend for the national title. The season has gone completely off the rails, one of the most dreadful turnarounds in a negative way in the history of college football. Sad to say, but they're in a situation now where they're a 14.5 point underdog, which is 31 point swing, which is very rare. It's only happened 10 times. But this is what happens with the betting markets. And now those early bets, if Penn State would come through here, are going to be in deep trouble because they're at 16.5. Now, if Penn State can find a way to cover, the books probably are going to be in pretty good shape if that happens, and especially if they win outright. But I'm just an example of how the markets move. NVIDIA was once $40. It's now $200. Things change, information changes, and therefore the price of our action is going to change. So enough lecturing on that. Let's get to another chart here from my Power BI dashboards that I'm creating. This shows you every season of the betting system. The red are the losses, the green are the wins. You can see that it has not had a losing season. And in certain cases, it's had a monster season. So this is a play system to really bet every single year in every single situation that it comes up. I often say I bet on situations, never mascots or team names. So it truly sometimes doesn't matter very much what the team name is, or if they've lost 10 in a row, or if they won 10 in a row. That is analyzed, of course, but it's rarely a factor that the name itself of the team ever comes into play. Oh, God, I'm not going to bet them. That just doesn't happen. And it takes a while to learn that. I've been doing it 30 years. So it becomes habit forming. Anyway, let's get to the last slide here. And that is the NBA game of the month here tonight. Now, this is definitely a barn burner. Very, very, I like this game a lot. Just keep in mind that it loses 27% of the time over the course of a calendar year or a season. So you still have to be very disciplined, just very disciplined. Just don't bet over your heads ever. It's not worth it to go for it or to bet triple your normal amount because someone said they were going to win automatically. Just never do that. Never be tempted to go for it, so to speak. And risk capital you shouldn't be risking. But this system can be bought on the site for $39. And the best thing is that if it loses, you're going to get the next one for free. And that's the next 10-unit bet for free. Or you can take the $39 and apply it to any of the other subscriptions that I offer in all the sports. And we're running pretty hot in NHL, NBA, college hoops is starting up. NFL's in full swing, college football in full swing. And I'm in the top 10 in wins, win percentages, and total profits of all three categories among 125 professional cappers. So that's pretty good stuff and humbly stated. Anyway, I hope you get on board tonight with that NBA play. And always remember, bet with your heads and never over it. And may all the wins be yours.